Welcome to this session of biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics concepts. Today's lecture is a continuation of a previous lecture regarding multiple dosage regimen. Today we are going to deal about the loading dose and the maintenance dose calculations in a multiple dose regimen study. Myself, Hassan Reza, will help you to understand the concept in the most simplest way. Hope so we understand the concepts clearly. Let us go for the primary objective of loading dose and maintenance dose. That is, what is the requirement of the calculation regarding a loading and a maintenance dose? We know that continuous therapeutic activity requires drug to achieve a steady state concentration. Any kind of chronic treatment requires a continuous steady state therapeutic activity. To achieve this steady state concentration, it requires around 5 half-lives to achieve a 95% of the steady state concentration and around 7 to 8 half-lives of 99% of the steady state concentration. So if I consider a drug which is having a nominal half-life of 5 hours, in order to achieve its steady state concentration, it will require 5 into 8, that is 40 hours to maintain the steady state level for therapeutic activity. So it's a long time. Sometimes we don't have much time to achieve the therapy, where there is an urgency to achieve the therapeutic activity. So, in the normal case of multiple doses regimen, the major disadvantage is a time dependent achievement of therapy, which is steady state. Thus, in order to get an instant steady state blood level of the drug, an immediate steady state level, we need to have a high loading dose followed by a normal maintenance dose. Loading dose are generally higher than the conventional dose which is given at a regular time interval. In general, our discussion will be based on IV bolus. For example, I can say one thing as example. If your what you can say, if we are giving the dosing interval equal to the half-life in the case of IV bolus, it is being found that the loading dose is twice the maintenance dose. That means if we are prescribing a dose of a drug which is equal to its half-life, we have to give twice the normal dose as a loading dose. But keep this thing in mind that while prescribing a loading dose, it should not be crossing the toxicity level. So this is the considerations and objectives which has to be made into consideration while we are going for prescribing the drug. Now let us go for an understanding it graphically. So you can see one thing in this concentration time curve. I am showing two kinds of multiple dosing. One with you can see the blue line. You can see the blue line. So this is called as the conventional multiple dose, and you can see the steady state concentration is achieved after around 5 to 6 half-lives. So from here into 7 to 8 it is becoming stable. Before that it takes around suppose 7. So if I consider these as a half-lives, so it takes around 7 half-lives to get it a steady state. In that place, if we just prescribe a dose which is twice that of a normal dose which we are giving, what we are calling as a loading dose, and following the same dosing, it is achieved much faster than the previous one, and you can see that the steady state level is maintained to a certain extent. So that is the why we are bringing the concept of the loading dose and maintenance dose. So to make you understand much better, this I am considering as my loading dose, the higher point. It is undergoing an elimination. Suppose this is undergoing elimination. So you can see this line suggests that it is almost trying to maintain a steady state level. And this level at the bottom is maintained as a steady state level. Considering the above consideration we discussed in the previous slide, I can say that steady state concentration multiplied by dosing interval is a representation of the area under the curve at the given time. Considering the AUC, we know previously it equals to x naught by Vd into Ke. Now, putting the previous value of AUC in the equation, we get it directly as steady state concentration multiplied by tau equals to x naught into Vd by Ke. So we are just transferring this tau at the bottom, you can see, and multiplying the Vd with the CSS, we know that it is showing the amount of the drug that is undergoing a steady state concentration, which equals to x naught, which you can say as your maintenance dose or the conventional dose which is being given, divided by Ke, that is elimination rate constant, multiplied by dosing interval. Therefore, we can say that a loading dose needs to achieve this concentration. The amount eliminated is supplied as a loading dose. That's what I said. That is your x naught. Sorry, it's something little bit mistake over here. The amount eliminated is supplied as a maintenance dose, which is written as x naught. So you know that previously C equals to C naught e to the power minus Ket. So in that way, if you make a consideration, I will say it here. So x naught is the amount of the drug that is eliminated, which is the difference between the loading dose and the steady state concentration. That much amount we can say it is going for your loading dose. Okay. Further, we can say that the steady state concentration equals to x star multiplied by d to the power minus k tau. As I said you, if you consider x star is the initial dose, which is your loading dose actually over here. After going for some elimination, you are achieving the steady state concentration, that is xss. So this equation can be written in the similar format in the previously what we have done for IB bolus. That is, previously we know x equals to x naught e to the power minus Ket. So in the similar way, here the amount of the drug which is present after elimination is xss. So xss, or steady state amount, equals to the loading amount into e to the power minus K tau. Simple. we are replacing the steady state amount with this equation, we get something like this. Here what we do it simple, you take x star as a common, that is a loading dose as a common factor, and you get something like this. So we can write x star equals to x naught divided by 1 minus e to the power minus k e tau. So that's how you can get your loading dose, and the reverse way, x naught equals to x star 1 minus u and k e tau, you can get the maintenance dose. This can be used in the two ways. So this is the thing, how we get the loading dose and the maintenance dose. Next aspect which you have to remember is the ratio of the loading dose and the maintenance dose. Generally, it is very clear that your loading dose will be always higher to that of your maintenance dose. So the dose ratio is represented as x star, that is the loading dose, divided by your maintenance dose. So if you get the values of x star and from the previous equation and put it over here, what we get, the dose ratio conventionally equals to 1 by 1 minus e to the power minus k e tau. We are going for a special consideration where t half equals to your dosing interval, or the reverse. Your dosing interval equals to t half of the drug which you are giving as a multiple dose. If you are doing so, what will be the aspect of the dose ratio? It may come for your exam also. So dose ratio we know x star by x naught. So what we have previously derived, 1 by 1 minus e to the power minus k e tau. This we have derived previously. Now what I am doing is, we know that t half equals to 0.693 by ke. Put that value in this equation over here in the place of tau. So it's very clear that the ke will get cancelled. You will be getting 1 minus e to the power minus 0.693. Now e to the power minus 0.693 equals to 0.5. You can calculate it. So 1 minus 0.5 is very clear, 0.5. 1 divided by 0.5, it equals to 2. So dose ratio is 2. We can say now that my loading dose is twice the maintenance dose. So beginning of our discussion I have said this. So here I prove it. So this proof can be a very important question for your exam. In MCQs they can directly ask the corresponding correlation. So you can just write it down. So this is the fact of loading dose and the maintenance